Hey everybody, welcome to Eden Fractal. We're here at our 94th meeting and we're having good times talking about fractalness and progress going on with fractals all over since the Eden experiment started about 3 years ago. We're catching up with CAC. Good to hear from you. Great to see Rosmari and Eric as always as well. Hope that you're having a great day. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We're about to discuss the strategy and the products that we're delivering at Eden Fractal. We have a little kind of a game or discussion lined up. If anyone wants to say hello or share any quick thoughts, then feel free. Otherwise, I will get into the presentation now and give a little overview about Eden Fractal and what we're going to be able to do today. Welcome. So if you're not familiar with Eden Fractal, check out edenfractal.com to learn about this community that creates innovative games, shows, and tools. And you can check out, so we've been meeting for just about 2 years now, every week, and we formed our vision a couple months ago that all communities and organizations should have the tools and methods to make the best possible decision making, and those decisions should be fair, fast, and fun. And we're on a mission to implement fractal decision-making processes throughout society via collaborative research, development, education, gamification, and community engagement. You can learn more about these and what is a fractal decision-making process and so forth by watching our recent or all of our videos or some of our videos. And also there's pages here where you can learn more about specifically how we form consensus on these missions and visions. And you can join our weekly events too. We meet every Wednesday at 16 UTC. Everybody's welcome to join, and you're welcome to invite your friends as well or people who you work with. Basically, we are right now in the process of building a strategy about how to implement these fractal decision-making processes throughout society, and also building these kinds of consensus games that can help people make the better decisions and so forth. So everybody's welcome to join to collaborate with innovators, lots of people who've been experimenting with these processes for a long time, and learn how to implement these with your community or organization, and also help create the future of Eden Fractal and collective coordination for all. We make videos each week, and you can watch them on the edenfractal.com/videos. Also, we have a YouTube channel as well, and we're also building tools that enable anybody to play these games too, open source tools, methods, and so forth that people can use for their own community and organization. So you can learn more. We have a Telegram chat too, so feel free to reach out at t.me/edenfractal and lu.ma/edenfractal to register for the weekly events and find the Zoom chat. Once again, everybody's invited and we love to meet new people. Rosemary also puts out great messages on Warpcast and Twitter and so forth about the weekly meetings too, so check it out. It's also in the Telegram groups. What we're going to be discussing today is the strategy, like I just mentioned, and this is following up on our recent discussions that we had from the past few weeks. So last week, we played a new game about each person bringing a question about strategy, about Eden Fractal, and then that was a really cool meeting. So Rosemary shared the video of it in the Eden Fractal chat, and she also shared, there's kind of like two different videos that we're sharing with two different like kind of workflows. Like right now we have on Eden Fractal videos up to the 84th meeting that's produced with a thumbnail and description and timestamps and everything like that. And you can find show notes there, but then also the past like 10 weeks or so, we're working on catching up with that. So you can always find the most recent episodes in the Telegram, and then the more recent episodes you can either find in the edenfractal.com/videos or on the Eden Careers YouTube channel. On the Eden Careers YouTube channel, you can also find other videos and shows like Optimism Fractal as well, which we've just done our 21st meeting, and that's going really well. I invite everyone to join. I was also talking with CAC just beforehand, and he was a little bit confused about Optimism Fractal and the Optimism Collective. So to be clear, there's another community that we started about 6 months ago called Optimism Fractal that works with the Optimism Collective, which is doing great stuff in the Ethereum ecosystem. And that's a community that's dedicated to fostering collaboration and awarding public goods created on optimism with these tools. So invite everyone to join these meetings for Optimism Fractal as well as Eden Fractal. And the Optimism Fractal meetings are every Thursday at 17 UTC. So everybody's welcome to join both these events to experiment with these processes and tools and games. And we produce videos from both of these as well, so you can watch all the Optimism Fractal videos there too. So hopefully that clarifies. And if people aren't familiar, Optimism.io, we discussed some previous Optimism Eden Fractal videos, but Optimism.io is the organization and community that we're working with Optimism Fractal. So at Eden Fractal, what we do is we play a game that we call Agendas, although lately it's been kind of like more relaxed. Usually the way Agendas works is that everybody can vote with respect that they'd earned in previous meetings and playing what we call the respect game. But now we're kind of just like putting topics up in the Telegram page. At some point, if anybody wants to make a topic proposal and vote with respect, then we can do it in the future. But in the meantime, feel free if anybody just has a topic in mind to let us know in Telegram as well. And the topic that I put up today is for ideal product. It's called the products at Eden Fractal. And basically the question is, what do you think is the ideal products that Eden Fractal should produce? So the way it can work is that each participant will get up to 4, I suppose 5 minutes to share their thoughts about the ideal products that we should produce. And it should generally align with the mission and the vision to provide tools and methods to make the best decision make possible. So Everybody can feel free to interpret the question however you like, and then we can also have an open discussion. So just a little bit of guidance and structure. I'm curious to everybody's thoughts about the product that we should build and we should discuss. We've discussed this quite a lot. We have a Notion page for Eden Fractal community that you can check out, and where we discuss our mission and vision and so forth, and lots more over the many months. And we had this template, and we discussed previously our product in a few different meetings. So basically, if anybody's not familiar, I think everybody knows what a product is, but just to be clear, a product is any good, service, or idea that can be offered to a market to satisfy a want or need. It can encompass services, experiences, events, physical items, places, properties, information, ideas. So in other words, what does Eden Fractal produce, and what should we produce? What should we aim to produce? So that's the question here. So I'll stop the presentation. Thanks everybody once again for being here and watching. Hope that was helpful, and hope that you're all excited to play, or I don't know if we'll play a game. If we want to do like respect game and vote for it at the end, we can, but lately we just been having discussions. So happy to go either way, and very curious to hear everybody's thoughts. All right. Would anybody like to go first and share what they think should be the products that Eden Fractal builds, or the ideal product that Eden Fractal is sharing with the world? And if anybody has anything else in your mind about things that you'd like to discuss other than that, then feel free to share as well. But very curious to hear your thoughts on the product. And I see both Eric and CAC both unmuted.
Eric can go ahead first.
So the ultimate for me, it's all about decision making. So that's about the long-term portfolio does things like creates culture, develops strategy, does the organization operations, things like that. So, but I think the first thing is really, the team builder. And if you look at a product list, you need to answer 3 questions we normally do. The first is, why should I care? The second is okay, so how are you going to solve this problem? And the third level is, so what is it? But the first thing that attracts people is, why do I need this product? And I think it's really a team builder, which helps organizations build culture, create connections, and improve communications. So I think that's the why level of the first thing that we can do now.
Very interesting. Thank you, Eric. I started the timer a bit late, but if you want to speak for a couple more minutes or a few more minutes about what you think should be the product, then feel free. Or if not, you can also feel free to pass it on.
I mean, the next level, if you want the next level down, so here it is. Here's a product for team building that helps teams create culture, improve communications, and bring the team closer together, create better connections. The way we do that is by creating a safe space for people to share and be heard and get information. And what that is, it is an app with processes that teams can use without the normal expense that somebody has to come in for a whole training team to do training and try and implement something hard. This is the easy button that that organizations can just use. So it's a tool and processes that you don't need to understand how they work. You just use it. Don't need a training team to come in and believe me, I've been part of those where teams come in with great information and they're really good, and you're taking notes, and starting Monday, almost nothing happens. I mean, I actually used a lot of that stuff, especially in my corporate career, but it never went through the whole organization. Very few people were able to take this great training and implement it into their daily operation. This is something that you don't need a training team and is easy to implement and can make a real difference to an organization. And I'm ready to roll it out, by the way. So I'm ready. I'm locally in the city. I met with the city officials yesterday, and we're ready to start using it.
Very cool.
That's all I got.
Okay, well, sounds good. Thank you, Eric. And yeah, I've heard some of your collaborations with the city, so very much looking forward to seeing how you implement this product, and I love that vision. Would you like to choose someone to go next, or I suppose CAC on me before. CAC, do you want to go
Well,
next?
CAC,
Or
yeah,
Do you really
CAC had unmuted, so he signed up.
do you really want my opinion?
yes.
Well, obviously I've been away for quite a few months, so I'm not up to date with all the nuances of what's been going on here. I got the broad picture, I don't watch every minute of every video you put up, but like what I feel the product of Eden Fractal should be, and I think that's what caused personal conflicts in the past that you're well aware of. Clashing of individuals was like we weren't on the same page of what our purpose was. But I see, and this is still my belief today, as it was when I first started joining Eden Fractal, what, year and a half, 2 years ago? I don't even know. But it's like the Eden Fractal community is not a community like the be all end all community. I feel like it was like a proving grounds. Like we were the creators trying to build the tech, right? And the processes to collaborate and come up, just form discussions and make decisions. And now, obviously, within the broader EOS community, there's other parties that are working on the tech side of things. Like Matthias, for example, in the upscale funding, the new upscale fractal. I think that's what my vision of Eden Fractal was to build the technical side of the fractal process, but then also the decision making process, which how the Zeos fractal or the upscale fractal or the Eden Fractal does things. Maybe they use the same technology, but the decision making process is different. But I think that I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Build a. Let's just say I think the tech is done now. It's just a matter of utilizing it and coming up with new governance and decision making processes. I'm just rambling, but if you got any questions, I can try to elaborate. Thank you.
Thank you, CAC. I appreciate that, and you make some some very good points, very interesting points. It's great to hear your perspective as you were joining and contributing a lot to the Eden Fractal since pretty close to the beginning, or maybe even the beginning, very early. And so you have a very unique perspective. I see Eric, I don't know if you wanted to jump in with any questions.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. See, so you still have a couple more minutes if you want to add anything, and yeah, I'd be curious if you want to just elaborate in the like. I agree with what you're saying about how like Eden Fractal kind of played a role in setting some of the foundations, and like fostering those collaborations, and like also helping to guide like the decision-making structure and stuff like that. That's led to different things like the upscale fractal. And yeah, I'm curious in general. Is there anything you wanted to elaborate on that in general in the product, or just in general, if you wanted to share any more of your thoughts, not necessarily related to the product, but more
Well,
so
that was,
about where Eden Fractal is at and so forth, and your perspective. What's that, Eric?
yeah, that was good information. But the question is, if we were to call somebody up and said, "We'd like to give you what we have. We'd like to help you out," and they say, "Oh, what do you got for me?" That's the question. What do you got for me? How do you? It's. I think CAC hit it. The stuff's there. We're just talking about packaging. What do we package? What do we package up in something that somebody can go use right now?
Well, that's my point. That forget the developing the tech. I think that's mostly done at this point, right? It's just a matter of using it and putting our own spin on it.
Well, but that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If somebody's on the phone with you and they say, "I've heard you have some great stuff. What do you got for me?" It needs to be more than, "Oh, well, you just need to use some tech." It's, well, what do you mean? What tech? How do I get it? What is it? So we're trying to package it for people now. So the one thing we package it is what we're calling the respect game.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the technology, it's how you use it. And I think that's what we need to find is how you use it. Every community is going to use the same tech differently.
Good points. Yeah, I think Eden Fractal has like delivered a product. I think it also might be worth noting like there's different products for different audiences too. So for example, like Eden Fractal has already delivered products like, for example, helped inspire the original software that has led to that helped Eden Fractal, Alien Worlds Fractal, Upscale Fractal, and so forth. That people built on that and so forth, and then also inspired and met each other. Like for example, Vlad and Matthias met each other at Eden Fractal. But also now the vision is to bring these tools and methods um, to all organizations and communities and to implement throughout society. So now we're at the stage where we have to like kind of scale it up. And I think that's Eric's point, that we have to deliver a product that other people can use that aren't already like developers and who aren't already aware of these processes as well.
Yeah, I mean, is it a notebook? Is it videos? What is it? That's the real question. You got to be, you can't, until you make it physical, it doesn't move.
Good points. CC, you have your hands up. Do you want to share anything else or add anything?
I just forgot what I was going to say. Give me a couple minutes to try to remember. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Curious to hear your thoughts whenever you remember. And maybe it's best if we pass it on to Rosmari or myself to go next, and then maybe after that you remember, CAC.
Yeah, maybe as Rosmari speaks, maybe she'll spark my memory.
Okay, sounds good. Are you ready, Rosmari?
Yes.
All right. I just, by the way, I realized
The
I have to
timer?
give. Oh, okay.
Or
That's the timer. Okay.
I,
I just gave screen share permissions. If I have to do that, so if anyone wanted to share the screen, then anybody can do that. If I have to do it
I
before,
can
so my
set the
apologies.
timer too,
But
actually.
I can set it for you. I have it here.
Okay, great. Thanks. So the question is, what is the ideal products that we should produce? I think the product that we should produce can be a combination of multiple different, I guess, problem-solving solutions that we can think about and present. And maybe a good way to go about this is to brainstorm on the different, I guess, packages or different features that we can include in a package, and maybe choose, maybe have, let's say, 10, and then narrow it down to, I don't know, 3 best ones, depending on features and depending on, I think, research on what actually people need at the moment, and more so our target audience, and what is needed right now in the market too. And so at the moment, we do have the, the tech and the process and the skills that we can educate people into how to run such events if they want, or how to implement it. I know about some work that is happening right now with building the new version of the Fractal app, which Vlad is working on alongside Matthias, I think, or Leonard. And I think this is probably the key product that we can offer. Apart from that, could be production services. Again, these can be listed out as different ways that we can provide services, such as video production or hosting or promotion, one-to-one strategy calls, things like that. But going back to the main question, what the ideal product we should produce is, I think, something that is easy to understand, with a nice guide to explain clearly the steps needed for someone to start this on their own if they had no knowledge about this. And for that, we'll probably want to use a website that is really well made and include our offerings such as the Fractal app services. And also I feel like I'm missing something that will probably come in the future, and I haven't thought about it, but there is something that will come, like something big that I'm missing out right now on. Probably if we also hire people for different roles that we feel like we're lacking skills at, that would probably be really helpful. But I think also the product that we can also offer is all the research that we've done so far. I was even thinking that we can start to promote the videos as different episodes, like a series. So that could also be some sort of product that can evolve in the future. It's a product that people can actually watch and be a really good educational material and promotion. But I think we have to develop some contacts for that for sure. To go a bit over time.
Okay, thanks, Rosmari. Eric, you have a question or thoughts?
Yeah, in developing lots of products for lots of companies, typically the focus is what does our final product look like at the end? And then what can we do with what we have right now? What's the minimum thing? If we could take what we have that's going to be developed, that we have now are going to be developed in a few months, what could we actually develop? And then the idea is then build, as we go, build the stepping stones between our MVP, our minimum viable product, what we can deliver right now, and what's next. So, I see team building going to basically the question that the game that Rosmari is playing last night, which, goes into strategy. And then there's like, well, how do you elect or choose people for jobs? How do you build structure? And then how do you make decisions about operations? Those are functions we all have. But yeah, I think the first thing is we just take the app that's being developed right now. We package it up with a way to use it. And I'm even playing with putting an avatar in there to train people how to use it. So I don't know if we've been playing with avatars, AI-based avatars. In fact, I talked to the city about building an avatar tour guide for them. But these things exist, and the difference between the avatars, AI-driven avatars versus the bots and things there is they're one-on-one. They actually get to know the person they're working with, so they can help train them and guide them on the next thing. And that avatar would be the thing that said, oh, we've got a video. Videos Rosmari talked about, oh, you need this video now, let me help you, you want to watch it. So I see that training, that automatic training is a potential product coming up next. If we can load all this stuff that we have in there and create a trainer, but I think first we have to do it. So I would just roll out an MVP and do it. Then the next thing, make it easy by getting an automatic trainer. So just imagine how fast we could scale if we had something that's really easy to do in a training that comes right on that. And then, the basic training just teaches how to do that. But what could the advanced thing? The advanced thing is when we get paid or somebody gets paid to customize, it's what CAC brought up. Every organization's different. Well, that means you have to customize it, but not from the basic tasks we know to just here, play this game, but the advanced tasks, that's something that we could load up with more information to help them train how to use our tools specifically for the way they make decision making. Just some ideas.
Great idea, that's fire.
That's fire. I was looking for the emoji, but it takes me a while to find it. Okay, there we go. Fire. Thanks, Eric, and thanks, Rosmari. Great ideas from both of you. I like the idea of having the AI avatar, and Rosmari brought up a breadth of products, which are all helpful with a good focal point too, which I love to hear. Okay, so we're going. We're having some great ideas about products here. I'm curious, CAC, if Rosemary's thoughts sparked your memory, or if I should go ahead and go next, or if anybody else has any thoughts before we go on.
Well, mine had more to do with like the mission and vision of the Eden Fractal. Now I understand. I mean, if the website is accurate, what the vision is, but to provide tools to other communities that they can use to do their business, basically, in summary, right? But so I'll ask you this, Dan. What do you see Eden Fractal is? Like a community that builds tools to help other communities that have missions or visions that do whatever they want to do, and Eden Fractal's purpose is to provide them the tools to do what they want to do. That Eden Fractal itself mission is to help other communities do their business. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's not like Eden Fractal is trying to solve world hunger. We're trying to build the tools that other groups could use to solve that problem. Does that kind of make sense? Is that how you see Eden Fractal?
Yeah, that makes sense, and that's how I see it essentially. I mean, I would love to solve world hunger, but also I think Eden Fractal isn't in a position to solve that on our own. And so, but the best thing that we can do to help with that, as well as solving all other or helping to solve all other kinds of problems, or helping to people to achieve all sorts of goals that are helpful, is basically provide these tools and methods that help communities and organizations do so. And you mentioned like it's about helping people succeed with their business, and that's part of it. It could for sure be business, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in a business context, and it could be in other contexts. And the main focus of the vision is specifically to make the best decision making, and to make that process of decision making fair and fast and fun. That's like what we're specifically focusing on in the vision. And then with the mission, it's specifically by implementing these fractal decision making processes, to enable all these different communities and organizations to make the best decision making possible. In addition to the decision making possible, I think also Eden Fractal and the respect game and these fractal decision making processes also provide a lot of the benefits. Like Eric mentioned, it's a great way to have connection and culture and communication and all sorts of stuff like that. But that stuff we kind of have figured out to some extent, at least. Like we know it works pretty well, but what we're really focusing on mostly our current mission is bringing these fractal decision-making processes, making it easier for people to use them and learning about them through collaborative research, development, education, gamification, community engagement, and then also to like put them in the package in the product that people could easily use them and enjoy the benefits from them. I see Eric raise his hand, so happy to pass on to Eric now, and I can share mine after, but also curious, CAC, if that answered your question and if that makes sense to you.
Well, that makes sense, and I wish we were on the same page over a year ago. You know what I mean? It's taken so long to figure this out. It's like if you would have said that quite a while ago, I think maybe more stuff could have happened in the interim.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. It takes time because what we're doing, it's like there's so many new things, and I know, like for example, we were discussing the vision. We discussed that, and I don't know if you had the chance or other people who were watching had the chance, but like for the vision, there's like 6 events basically where we discuss the vision in detail. And similarly for the mission, there's also probably 6 or 7 events, and so these were kind of like it's not easy to have it where it's like organization where it's decentralized and there's many different people with different opinions to come to consensus about the same thing. We all had a generally aligned vision, but there's so many different things that we could have focused on, and we're working with such a new kind of thing. Like practical decision making processes haven't really existed, and they have so many different benefits. So it took some time to form consensus about what exactly we should focus on, and how to do so. But I'm very glad that we have now. And
Well, tell me if these few words make sense. Eden Fractal is the creators. We're not the users. Does that make sense? we create the tools necessary for the other people to use them.
Well, and for ourselves, we eat our own dog food, as they say in the marketing thing. So we are creating it for ourselves, but our mission is to, we're using ourselves as guinea pigs to roll this out for other people. I think you got it right on.
Yeah, I'll also add to that too. So I see what you're saying. So you see that we're like the creators of these tools and methods. And to some extent, it's not just Eden Fractal, it's also, many other people in similar communities like Genesis Fractal and so forth who have helped create it. But like we're focused largely on creating these for other organizations and communities. But at the same time too, though, we want to use them both in Eden Fractal. Like I imagine Eden Fractal, maybe in a year from now or something like that, we can, or I don't know, 6 months or several years or just over time, as we build these tools and make them easier to use, and also get better at promoting it and doing that kind of collaborative research and education and development and so forth, then we could also be using these tools to further our mission of implementing these fractal decision making processes throughout society. So similar to how earlier in Eden Fractal's history, we had breakout rooms with like 20 people coming together, generally trying to promote the fractal process and so forth. We could do the same thing, but really bring it to, the next level and the potential that no fractal has reached yet, where there's like, many hundreds or many thousands of people who are all specifically focused on this mission or perhaps some other mission that the community evolves towards, but basically using our tools to promote the vision of expanding these fractal decision-making processes, basically, as well as using in our own like local communities or other communities that we start, like Optimism Collective and stuff like that too. So largely creating for others, but also creating for ourselves to help achieve our goals of helping others as well, if that makes sense.
Well, it's like a circular thing. Of course, you're going to build tools that you need to use, but the focus is on building tools and methods that other people can use. And of course, Eden Fractal using the tools that it develops is going to help it hopefully create and develop more tools. It's not like you have some secondary mission or vision. It's just the mission and vision stays the same forever, right? Or it may change to something, maybe at some point you're not creators anymore and now you're focused on something completely different. That may happen, I guess.
I think it goes beyond creation because we also integrate and promote. So we actually don't care if we develop it. As long as somebody develops it, our job is kind of to integrate that into workflows and things. And
yeah, it all comes down to packaging and marketing.
Yeah, we test. Yeah, that's it. Package, test, and promote. That's kind of it. And if nobody has it, then we have to develop it. If somebody else has already developed it, sure, we'll use it.
Yeah, we're implementing these processes through collaborative research, development, education, gamification, and community engagement. So any one of those or several of those ways that we can help, and I'm very happy to collaborate if others want to, and hopefully others will want to, and others have wanted to, and hopefully many more will want to help with these various things too, and we can focus on whatever the role we can best play is. All right, we have like 15 minutes left or so. Having very interesting discussions. I suppose I can go ahead because I haven't gone yet and shared my like 4-minute thing yet. If anybody else has any other thoughts that you want to share first, then feel free. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and share that now so we can make sure that we wrap up in a timely fashion as well.
I can set the timer. Are you ready?
I am ready to go.
Okay.
But I don't know if I can see the timer when I share my screen. This is going to be a test. Let's see if I can still see it. Nice, I can still see the timer. Okay, cool. Thanks, Rosmari. So yeah, just to I might go a bit over 4 minutes too, because I also want to just like explain a little bit. But what I was talking about, the vision and the mission, and there's several different pages for here. So if anyone wanted to review these in more depth, these are very related to the products that we're creating. So you can check out like all the videos where we discuss the vision and mission and so forth here. And there's timestamps and notes for these and stuff like that. So it's been a great journey getting to this place where we have a mission and vision and excited to develop products. As for the products, as for what I think are the ideal products that we should develop, there's many. As I was saying, like it's kind of difficult to scope it because we need to figure out what is the highest priority right now, as Eric was saying. But also at the same time, there's lots of things we do. Also, I want to mention too, also just kind of general note, but Rosmari's been keeping notes here on the Eden Fractal strategy page at EF94, so we can review. For example, she shared some notes here and some notes that she wrote while Eric was talking and CSC was writing and stuff like that. So thanks to Rosmari for putting that together, and that's a helpful resource for anybody to review. Okay, so I'd written previously when I think this was like week 87 or 88 when we discussed the Eden Fractal strategy kind of for the first time, like specifically, and I'd put it together as database. And this was talking about how there's like a breadth of products. There's many different products that we can build, and we just need to focus on what is most helpful. So like it's a high level overview, like games, like the respect game, also what might be called opinions or some decision making game that you can use respect in this fractal process to make decisions. Agendas where we use to make topics, and then there's many other games we've tried out playing too, like pitches games and stuff where you can vote with respect. Tools like, for example, respect trees and also different software stacks. Like we're building on both EVM and Antelope and so forth. Hosting the events like these events and Optimism Fractal events and other fractal events. Building apps specifically for like the respect game and stuff like that. The videos, education that comes with courses and certifications, consulting services, and also offering like consensus as a service, like helping to provide consensus. These are all kind of like general ideas of products I think we can offer, but of course we also have to narrow it down to figure out what is like the most highest priority and what are the ideal ones for now. But I do think that this fractal decision making process, like there's huge potential in all these different products that we can build, and that's also one of the reasons why it can be so helpful when more people join to help build these different products in a scalable manner. We have this article about the respect game. We have a video that's kind of like the main product that we have, so to speak, where we go into breakout groups and rank each other's contributions, and that's also like really flexible. But right now we don't have an app for it, so to speak. I mean, we do. We have Fractalgram, which works out well, and we have that on the tools page. But it's a little bit difficult to use right now for like new people who are using it. So there's that. And we also have like the code for both EVM and other stuff like that. I have a page here that I'm working on organizing better, and this was kind of like some early ideas about decision-making processes that can stem from the respect game and respect. So you can form a council, or you can have it where you elect delegates in each event, or different things like that, or have it where you're voting on with different points. We've experimented with all these different things. So like decision-making processes and consensus games rather for these are like some of our products, and we've experienced some of these like Optimism Fractal. We have a council that people have used to make decisions and so forth. And Eden Fractal, we've experimented with a consensus process that we called Eden plus Fractal, where we elect delegates. So these are all kinds of like products that we can build, as well as the agendas for choosing topics. But the main thing I want to discuss, and I know I'm also like at almost time, but I'll go a minute or two over if you don't mind, because I think this is really helpful to share. And also I kind of started with some other introductory information. I think the main product that Rosmari identified, I think Eric identified too, is having an easy app to play. That makes it really easy for people to play the respect game, because that's kind of the main barrier, as well as having the educational context around it and stuff like that. I've been working on this a lot with the Optimistics team, and Vlad had just actually put together like a wireframe that he's planning to build on the EVM, and that we're planning to deliver to some communities. And I haven't shown Vlad yet because I don't think he's ready to share it publicly yet. But I also put together some ideas, and one of the ideas I had is like a respect game app that's really simple. So I put together this draft here about like, imagine if you had a simple website like respectgame.xyz, and then you can go and you can hit start playing, and then there could be like a menu up the top too where you can like choose between a couple of different things, but really just make it really easy to start playing. And then you can like create a lobby and invite friends or invite people in your community, and then like enter your name, maybe a couple of different options there. It could have like a Zoom link or something like that embedded, or it could just be like a thing you could play locally with friends as well. And then basically you can do this all like very easily by signing in without having to make an account with like your email or something like that, and be able to post it on a blockchain network like the Optimism Superchain or like EOS or wherever else. And then at the end, you can have like, thanks for playing. You can invite your friends. You could share it on Facebook or something like that, and just like invite people. So this can both be played on a weekly basis or just like a random basis whenever you're with friends or whenever you want to meet with people. And then I'm imagining if everybody can give each other respect. So these are some new ideas too, but I kind of want to throw it out there. If not just one community gives respect, but everybody can give respect with a simple button and make it really easy. And we also have it where like you can give like visual respect, like an NFT basically, where you can see an image. So thinking about that, and I've been learning from Wordle too. Wordle is a game that like it's like a word game, and it's kind of related to this game here, which I showed last week, which has like a really simple sign up thing where you can just like choose a thing and then like sign in and then get to play in the game really easy, and it has instructions. So I think we could build an app like this basically where you can sign in and start playing and stuff like that, and then make it really easy for people to play and have those new kind of novel parameters where everybody can give their own respect to, which would be like really interesting to do as well. So that's one of the main products I think we should deliver. And like I said, I have some drafts here, and Vlad has more drafts he's working on too. So I think that'll make it really easy. I think we can deliver that in the next few weeks. And also integrating with the EAS to make it so people can make attestations. That's another thing. And then one other thing I'll add too, because I'm already 2 minutes over, but just one last thing is what do you do with respect? I kind of mentioned the consensus processes, but another thing is how you use that respect in other ways and just making decisions, like a global council, how you break that down into smaller ways. And Tadasi come up with this idea of respect trees, which we have a video of, and he presented that, and lots you can learn Optimist style respect trees. And we've been working on an Optimist Fractal. We have a database in the Notion of lots of different projects and stuff. And one of the ideas is we can use respect like upvote projects and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's another thing that I think we should do as well. And there's an open source alternative to Notion. So I know it's been kind of a lot of information, but this is another one of the products that after we make it really easy for people to build, to play the respect game, with an app like this, then we can also, have educational resources and then the consensus processes, and then also have ways that people can like easily upvote projects or, priorities or top interested in, so they can use respect in all kinds of different ways. So that's that. And I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts about that. Hopefully that's interesting, some new ideas there. And we have about 5-10 minutes left too. So yeah, I suppose for the rest, I see, I think Fractal Ball is joining, but he's connecting to audio. So I'll welcome Fractal Ball in a moment. But I see Eric raising hand, so I'll pass it over to Eric now.
I think it's great. I'd say make it even simpler for the first version. Just make it work. Be very clear. Be very clear. You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. Here's why. Start with here's what you're going to get out of this. Here's how you do it, and then reward them for doing it, whether it's with NFTs or whatever. But just make it simple. Give people a few choices of things they can do, and then you can make it complicated later. If you give people too many choices, then it's very tough to measure what's working and what's not. And then you have the Fractal Ball, and then we have the jam test problem. I think we talked about that maybe for people. The idea is that if you have something, product on the shelf of the stores, it's tough to compete. If you put a table in front and say, would you like to do a sample? You sell a lot more of your product if you put 3 samples out there. If you put more than 3, you actually sell less, because then people are more focused on decision making and not tasting the product. So it's very tough to measure which thing is driving what. So to start, I wouldn't put a lot of things in there, put a lot and measure it, so that we can make a change and see if that's making a difference.
I totally agree. Thanks, Eric. That is very good wisdom to keep in mind. And yeah, we want to make it as simple as possible. So, and we also want to make it easily testable too. So I think the first priority, the first ideal product that we should deliver is just the simplest way possible to play the respect game.
Yeah, here's what it's for. Here's how you do it. And then you also need to make it engaging and put those things in there. So you have to think about that from the start, but I wouldn't make it too complicated. Here's what you do. You did it. Make sure the reward, and part of the reward is points.
Yep, I agree. I agree completely. Welcome, Fractal Ball. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. We'd be happy to hear from you if you want to share any thoughts. I see you sharing some messages in the chat, and also Rosmari, I see you have your hands up too. So curious, Rosmari, if you want to go next, or Eric, is there anything else you want to add here?
Nope.
Okay.
I think, Dan, what you said about the different ways that communities can use respect to form decision making, that's really interesting, because maybe that's probably one of the hidden value propositions that the product can offer. You can do so much with respect, really, and maybe if we have, let's say, a page with different ways to customize respect points for a community in different occasions, let's say the most popular decision-making moments that a community has. If we put, let's say, a list of different ways that respect can be combined, and maybe some of those can be unlocked with, I don't know, different in certain ways only, then I think that's a way to probably retain users and make them more attached to the product. So I think this is probably something that I didn't think about before, but now I think this is really good.
And as soon as we package this up, I'm meeting with a potential group on Thursday who would like to use it. So take a group, build it, work with them, get feedback, feedback on that, then let's pick another group. And then another, and then we start getting more feedback and we make changes. And we have to think in there how we're going to monetize it so we can pay people to make the changes. So I don't care about the first role. Be a partner with us, help us develop it. But after we've done 2 or 3, then we need to figure out how the 4th one is going to pay for it. Unless it's just a leader for the next thing up, and we give the first game away for free with up to the second. No, now that you know how to build a team, how about solving your most important questions, finding and solving your most important question. There's Rosmari's game right there. While we're doing this, we get the next game. So it's just a matter whether, what can we give away for potentially for free, and then what can we charge for so that we can fund our developers. And it may be a membership or maybe a subscription and you get all our stuff. I don't know.
Great points. Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Rosmari. So with what you were saying there, Eric, I mean, we discussed this quite a bit in last week's meeting, and also I want to mention we're at just at the top of the hour too, so I want to respect everybody's time. If anybody needs to go, then feel free. Last week we went like probably 15, 20 minutes over, so if we want, we could do that, but also I'm happy to just wrap it up in the next couple minutes too, but just want to share a couple last points, and if anybody else wants to share points before we go, then happy to hear it. So in response to what you were saying there, Eric, like one, I'm very happy to help with the communities you're rolling out with. I'm very excited to see that, and I think that the app that we're building, like the app that Vlad is building on the EVM, should be available in the next few weeks, I think. And then I know Fractal Ball joined recently, and he was saying that the upscale app is quite well developed too, and I tried it out too. So there's several different options that people can now use to play the respec game and try it out. And they have some various like different feature sets that we could discuss and that can be suited for different kinds of communities. And then as far as funding, yeah, I agree. We discussed that last week too. We talked about the example I think you brought up of GitLab, which has like open source software, but then also complementary services that they charge for and products that they charge for. So we can build out a kind of an offering of services like that. We talked about doing that with Fractal Joy and with iValue Global and with several different kinds of ideas, like for example, charging for courses and so forth. And then also last week.
Yeah, or customizing their avatar for them to fit their particular organization. We could give this and then have customization services. One idea.
Yep. There's all sorts of additional services we could do in addition to providing the open source software for free and other things like some educational content, at least for free. And then also another thing too that's worth mentioning is last week we announced the RetroPGF round, the new funding round from Retro Funding from the Optimism Collective, and they've announced 850 million OP that is dedicated to rewarding public goods creators, and that is a significant funding source. I think that with the current price, that winds up being a few $1 billion worth of OP, and they're planning on doing the first or the next few rounds this season. And particularly if we're able to get people using playing these games on things like Optimism in the next like couple months, there are some good opportunities. Like for example, the on-chain builders that brings people on chain. There's plenty of opportunities starting that in May, and then for governance and so forth. Of course, there's also lots of other opportunities other than Optimism as well. But Optimism has some great opportunities that we found can fund public goods and have a lot of alignment. And we're already working with Optimism too. So that's one way, in addition to building a product and service and so forth. That like we're building a product and a service, but also that we can just get rewarded directly for providing public goods without having to charge consumers and consumers as well. I also wanted to mention, if anyone want to look into this more, we had retweeted it from the Optimistics account, and there's an article where you can learn more. And then I wanted to, I suppose, just share like a little closing so we can close out whenever. Thanks everybody so much for joining. This has been a great session of Eden Fractal in our 94th meeting, and encourage everybody to join. We meet every Wednesday at 16 UTC, so everybody's welcome to join. And then I also wanted to just briefly respond to Rosmari as well, saying that I agree. I think first, like to sum up what Eric was saying, we need to make it really simple for people to play the respect game. And then after that, there's all sorts of things you can do with respect. And so Eric or CAC was also talking that too, about having it so that people can make decisions with respect. And there's different ways to do that. So first, just make it really easy to play, but in parallel, figure out ways that people can use that respect in all sorts of different ways, like voting on topics or in different games and so forth. CAC?
Well, I mean, it's just my personal opinion. Just using the word, I mean, it may not make sense to you, but referring to these things as games, I don't agree with that, because I mean, these tools and methods have the potential for serious use, and I just don't associate serious enterprises with games. That's my opinion.
Thanks. I see Eric's having a great time with that. Eric shared some similar thoughts, and Rosemary also put out a laughing emoji there. Well, thank you for the feedback, CC. And to me, it doesn't really matter how much people deliver. Like if somebody wants to call it a tool or process in their organization, and that's great as long as people are using it. And I imagine that we can build out many different brands that conveyed in different ways to different people and different target markets, and that we should do that. One of the things we put in the mission that we discussed a lot, and I was kind of a vocal advocate for, was adding games, or at least gamification. That's what we wind up adding, that we're implementing these practical decision-making processes throughout society, but it's doing via collaborative research, education, gamification, and community engagement. And in the vision, we talked about it as tools and methods. So I don't think we need to focus too much on games, but I think that it can, like, there's like, these processes are much more effective when they're enjoyable and people are having fun while doing it. Fun doesn't need to be the main goal, but there are serious games, like game theory, for example, is a very serious endeavor that people use in all sorts of like complex systems and so forth that are very important for the world. So I appreciate the feedback, and I think it depends on the audience, and we should give people how they want to hear it, basically. But at the same time, making it with the principles of games can make it more effective as well. I see Fractal Ball raise his hand, and yeah, Fractal Ball, you have thoughts or?
Yeah, hello, it's Fractal Ball. I just want to give a good advice, you know, one time per year. I think it could be very helpful. I suggest to maybe put the name iterative and agile in your game, because you are the agile game, you know, iterative games. Because only the board game, yeah, CIC is a good one also, stating that could be interpreted like not serious. But I think if you put combination with agile, iterative, that could be a nice branding. And also think about quizzes, and because you want to educate the users of your community. So maybe Fractal Ball could offers you for the Eden Fractal a way to do quizzes, and with all the material that you have, all the text that you have produced and enjoy, I think this text could be uploaded into the quizzes with ChatGPT version 4, and that could generate for you quizzes with questions and answers, QCM, multiple choice question, very accurate with all what is about Eden Fractal. And the people will be rewarded in the token of your choice. That's could be EOS, USDT, what you choose, done. And yeah, that could promote very well your community. Eden Fractal, without to speak about Optimism Fractal, but at least Eden Fractal. Because, you know, my brother, Patrick, he was joining a lot the Eden Fractal, and he told me to come here as a ball to explain maybe the last suggestions. Because Patrick is dead currently. He has a lot of to do, so I am just coming here to on behalf of Patrick. So I am the Fractal Ball, and thank you, Dan. You do a great job with Eric and Rosmari. Very happy. Okay, so continue like this, and take maybe 10% of the suggestion or 0.5. You know, I think Rosmari will do a resume for you. I think that would be nice. Okay, Dan. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much, Fractal Ball. I hope you have a good day too. I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts there, and also I'm wishing well to Patrick too, to your brother. It's been a lot of good times together, so I really appreciate you joining and sharing, and the ideas about iterative and agile games. Those are very interesting. I maybe discuss that, so I'll think about that and encourage everybody else to think about it as well. And then the idea of the quizzes, I think it's a great idea too. I know that your brother Patrick is working with EOS Den on similar stuff, and also it's similar to what Eric spoke about with an AI avatar, I think, which I think that that'd be really helpful to have ways that people could quickly learn to play these games, especially that could be embedded in an app too, or process, depending on how people want to call it, process or tool or whatever it is, embedded in an app where people can earn rewards, like you said, as well as be able to easily use these for implement it with these as a community or play it with their friends and so forth. Those are great ideas. So really appreciate all that you're doing, Fractal Ball, and sharing those updates and good things to consider. Also,
I was just thinking maybe, you know, Patrick is sometimes a little bit stupid, and he has named his platform EOS Den. And I suggest to this bastard to rename the platform maybe Fractal Den. That will make a fractal digital extended network, you know, Fractal Den. And yeah, I think he will consider my new logo and my new branding very easily, because Patrick, you know, you don't need a lot to convince him when he's okay with an idea. He's going straight into. So Fractal Ball has the balls to say to Patrick what all he's doing badly, and I think we are all fractals indeed. And since that we are born, you know, I told him a lot about that. So I think EOS Den should be definitely rebranded as soon as possible. But you know, now he's eating a rabbit because we are Easter. So when he come back, I will tell him he has to rebrand this platform. You know, okay. So Fractal Den. And the quiz is very in modus fractal that you will be able to use free of charge for the first one, because you are dancing joy. Patrick told me that you are the best dog in the galaxy, so that's why I want to do a gesture for you that you don't pay anything for the first quiz. Okay, thank you.
all right. Thank you, Fractal Ball. I appreciate the offer very much. I'll take you up on that. And sounds like a great new name, Fractal Den. You heard it here. Excited to see Fractal Den. I know you've done I know your brother Patrick has done a lot of work with EOS Den that I've enjoyed following, and Fractal Den sounds awesome in the quizzes. So thanks so much, Fractal Ball. I really appreciate it. And also appreciate your uh, uh, all the joy you're sharing too. Very, very nice. We probably should wrap it up pretty soon because we're 10 minutes over or so. So thank you for trying to convince Patrick, and hope that he enjoys the rabbit, I think you said as well. I'm curious, does anybody else have any does anybody have any last thoughts before we wrap it up, or should we wrap it up now?
Yeah, you know, Patrick stated to me that when you wrapping up the meetings, you say, go Eden Fractal. So, yeah, Fractal Ball, I will say new branding, go Fractal Ball. So raise your hand when you are ready. We can go. Okay, at 3, 2, 1, 0. I do the countdown.
Okay, well, hold on 1 second. So we'll do Fractal. We'll say go Fractal Ball if people are reporting, and we'll say go Eden Fractal as well. And also before
Absolutely,
that, I'll also say too, if Rosmari or Eric or CC want to say any other thoughts, then feel free to do so now. Also, want to thank CC for joining again. Really appreciate all your insights, as well as Rosmari and Eric, and thanks everybody so much for watching as well.
Yeah, CIC is a good man. He's continuing to join these meetings. That's nice to see because Patrick told me that he was in good relationship with CIC, and he told me, Fractal Ball, you have to go there today because CIC will be there. So shout out to CIC. Okay, so go Eden Fractal at 3, 2, 1, 0, and then go Fractal Ball. Okay, I do the countdown. Be ready.
Wait. Let me just be 100% clear. As Dan knows, I probably haven't been here in 9 months at least. I haven't spoken with Fractal Ball or Patrick today. So
Oh, yeah,
let's just set the record straight. I came in here on my own. Haven't told anybody.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. We have not planned anything. Planning anything. We were just joining. You see, there was no complot. Okay, so let's go. Go Eden Fractal at 3, 2, 1, 0. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready. You ready, Rosmari? I see you unmuted. Okay,
Yeah,
ready?
yeah,
3.
okay.
You gonna count it?
3, 2,
3,
1,
2.
0. Go!
Go Eden Fractal! Woohoo!
And go Fractal Ball!
And go Fractal Ball too.
And go CIC!
Go
And go
Fractal Ball.
Eric! And go Rosmari! Hey, okay, so let's go!
Let's go.
That's right. Go everybody. Thank you so much for the awesome meeting. Look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, 16 UTC, where we will continue our strategy and achieve our mission. See you later all. Thank you.